Hi, I'm Scott from Zscaler. The Zscaler value proposition offers tremendous value for organizations of all sizes. As employees become more mobile and applications move out of the data center and into the cloud, it presents new networking and security challenges. Let me walk you through a whiteboard presentation that highlights some of the challenges of an old hub and spoke architecture and presents the many benefits of moving with the Zscaler cloud security platform.
Whiteboarding is a collaborative discussion where ideas are written and drawn on a space like a whiteboard, a screen, or a piece of paper. The Zscaler value proposition is a compelling stack of security technologies delivered as a cloud security platform, which in turn enables both network and application transformation. This video will explain the process of building a whiteboard discussion that you can use with your prospects and customers. So how do you start whiteboarding? You may be thinking, how can I do this? I can't draw a stick figure. Or perhaps my handwriting is terrible. And then when you're up there in front of the room, what do you draw to make your point? Perhaps you're also concerned that you will lose eye contact and have your back turned to your customers. So we're here to show you some basic skills to get you started on your whiteboarding journey. Let's start with the basics. That is the shapes, lines, and objects. Firstly, leverage the basic shapes. You can practice drawing common objects built from the basic shapes. All you need to know is how to draw the 12 basic shapes and the cloud. The cloud is usually used to represent the internet. By using a combination of these lines and shapes, you can deliver any whiteboarding session. Now secondly, slow down. When you're up at the whiteboard, take a few minutes, thoughtfully and mindfully, to slow down. Taking an extra couple of seconds on each line, object, or word or phrase is worth it. Slowing down just a few seconds per burst of writing or drawing improves your quality and legibility by more than 20%. Now thirdly, anchor yourself. Touching the whiteboard or wall with one hand while you are drawing with the other is what we mean by anchoring. Anchoring allows you to keep your text and drawings more level and in line with the whiteboard. The use of color is important. There are 4 colors that work really well in whiteboarding: black, blue, green, and red. These colors correspond to different psychological triggers that we have as human beings in general. When we're up at the whiteboard, black should be our go-to color. Black is our general purpose marker, and the main reason is because black marker is highly visible and legible on a whiteboard. Blue is another important and highly visible color that we can use in order to emphasize key points that we want our customers to remember. Red and green are mostly used to signify different areas of emphasis. In most settings, red is used to signify negatives or financial losses. In general, red signifies a negative. However, for some cultures, particularly in Asia, red can signify positives or luck. Green, on the other hand, is most often used to represent positives. We can also use it to represent money, positive financial impact, increases or improvements in performance, and good outcomes. Here are 2 other important tips if you do a lot of whiteboarding. The first tip is to always keep a fresh set of markers in your bag. Having your own markers is a very professional approach because you will look 100% prepared by taking the element of surprise out of your whiteboarding session. The second tip is to always remember the mantra of touch, turn, talk when you're up at the whiteboard. Try not to talk when you're facing the whiteboard. It is difficult to be up at the whiteboard drawing and talking at the same time. Go ahead and write or draw in short bursts and then turn back to your audience and re-engage them. Eye contact and body language still apply in whiteboarding. Remember, whiteboarding is a key tool in communication. It's a great way for you to enhance, amplify, represent and document the communication you're having through conversation. We will now look at how we apply this to the Zscaler value proposition. Study the following animation and learn how to present our value proposition with confidence, courage, and with visuals as we take you through the Zscaler value proposition whiteboarding process. Let's take a look at how we would present the Zscaler value proposition to your customers. The main components of our value proposition presentation are the current state, the challenges, and the Zscaler solutions, Zscaler Internet Access or ZIA, and the Zscaler Private Access or what we call ZPA. In explaining the current state of the organization, we'd talk about the hub and spoke architecture. Then we'd focus on the hosted applications in the data center. This castle and moat strategy centralizes access to the internet behind the stack of security technologies. The outbound stack includes antivirus, IPS, proxy, firewall, SSL decryption, and advanced threat protection. The inbound stack includes DDoS, VPN, and two types of load balancers: global server load balancers and internal load balancers. Again, with the remote locations connected to central locations within the castle to get access to these applications. Next, distinctly separate to the castle and moat are the business applications which have migrated to the cloud. These cloud services can be segmented into software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and a hosted or private data center. So divide the cloud into three sections. You may give some examples of each of these by writing down the names of each business function into the appropriate section of the cloud. All these cloud services need to be accessed through the central security stack of appliances using the hub-and-spoke architecture. We will then move on to highlight the challenges that organizations face because of this castle and moat mentality, with data moving in and out of the network. List the challenges so it's clear for the customer. Then similarly, list the business issues on another side of the whiteboard. Then explain that mobile users who are trying to get access to the internet have to come through the stack of technology. Typically, this is with a slow, clunky VPN, only to trombone back into the network and out again to get to the internet, when ideally they should connect directly from where they are to the application. Let's now move on to our solutions. Zscaler has effectively taken the perimeter from around the organization's network and built a perimeter around the internet with over 100 data centers across the planet. Zscaler Internet Access provides customers with the opportunity to replace the expensive, clunky security stack and deliver it as a cloud service with full control and policy enforcement and reporting for all its users no matter where they are and what device they are on. This opens the opportunity for the customers to directly connect branch offices to the internet using local breakouts. This optimizes the performance of services such as Office 365 and accelerates the adoption of new technologies such as SD-WAN. Your users and branches are now connecting to the Zscaler cloud, and all of their security policies and enforcement checks will be applied to that traffic before it hits the internet. This gives the customer tremendous cost-saving opportunities by balancing their MPLS backbone traffic with direct internet-bound traffic connecting via local broadband breakouts. This next-gen architecture allows users to have direct internet access from any location and from any device they are on. It improves the user experience and reduces the complexity of having to push traffic all the way back through their inbound stack. Our second solution is Zscaler Private Access, an inbound remote access solution which eliminates the inbound stack and enables the rollout of a zero-trust architecture. Now users get access to only the applications they are authorized to access either on-premise or hosted in either a public or private cloud. The way we deliver this is through a connector, which sits on the server hosting that particular application, either on-premise or in the cloud. The connector creates an outbound connection to the Zscaler cloud. As such, this is no longer advertising a service on a public IP address. Unlike traditional VPN services, it has gone dark. This also eliminates requirements for DDoS and global server load balancing. The user is already authenticated to the Zscaler cloud and is able to directly access the applications for which they have been authorized. So we've effectively made this link in the Zscaler cloud so the user connects to their authorized applications without needing to know where those applications are located in the data center or in the cloud. This not only creates a whole host of benefits for the user experience, but also from a security standpoint. These applications effectively go dark by providing only an outbound connection, a one-way connection to the Zscaler cloud. In conclusion, whiteboarding feels spontaneous when it is happening. Even if you have planned a basic outline or framework, your customers will be more open to sharing information with you and contributing to the whiteboarding session. Engagement and interaction are some of the things we get through the use of whiteboarding. Ultimately, whiteboarding is more about the customer and driving a conversation through the engagement. Zscaler's value proposition is far-reaching across an organization and is not only a compelling story to share, but offers a timely solution to address the many current issues facing enterprises today around mobility, cloud, and security. We hope you found this tutorial helpful and can spend some time practicing these skills so that you too can share this conversation with your prospects and your customers.